Most creators trying to sell digital products are wrecking their own success because they're building these crazy complicated funnels across 15 different platforms that don't work well together. And while they're fighting with tech problems, smart creators are quietly building million-dollar money-making machines using one simple platform. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a complete $1 million digital products business from scratch. The landing page that turns visitors into leads, the sales page that gets people to buy, the email and text automation that follows up with people, and the tracking system that helps you make more money. And here's what's crazy, right? The best-selling systems aren't the most complicated ones. They're super simple. But before I show you the step-by-step process, let me tell you about the day I almost gave up on selling digital products. I just spent 3 weeks and about $2,000 building what I thought was the perfect system across 7 different websites. ClickFunnels for pages, MailChimp for emails, Calendly for bookings, Stripe for payments, and Zapier to connect everything. It looked professional, it seemed smart, but it only converted at 0.3%. I was spending 4 hours a day just keeping all the connections working. Like every morning I'd wake up with broken links, lost leads, and error messages. It was a nightmare that was supposed to make my life easier, but instead made it hell. Meanwhile, my friend Marcus was making $30,000 per month using what looked like the simplest system I'd ever seen. Same market, same product, but his system just worked while mine was held together with duct tape. That's when I learned the truth that changed my entire business model. Complicated systems kill sales. The most profitable systems aren't built across multiple websites. They're built on one platform that handles everything seamlessly. Before we build anything though, you need to understand why 87% of digital products fail in their first 30 days, and it has nothing to do with the product itself. Here's what happens to most creators. They research the best tool for each job, like ClickFunnels for landing pages because that's what the gurus recommend, MailChimp for emails because it's popular, PayPal for payments because it's familiar. Then they spend weeks trying to get these tools to work together with connections that break every Tuesday. I made this exact mistake with my first serious attempt at selling digital products. I thought I was being smart by choosing the best tool for each job. So I spent $347 per month on tools, another $150 on connections with Zapier, and countless hours fixing problems. The breaking point came when I lost 147 potential customers because my connection failed during a product launch. People were signing up, but their information wasn't reaching my email system. I didn't find the problem until 3 days later when I noticed my email list hadn't grown despite getting tons of visitors for my YouTube channel. But the real problem isn't technical. It's psychological. Like when people move between different websites with different designs, different loading speeds, different experiences, you're creating confusion at every step. Each move creates doubt and whether they're dealing with a real business or not. Like think about it. Someone who clicks your ad, lands on your ClickFunnels page, enters their email, gets to a teachable thank you page. Those things look all completely different. Then they get emails from MailChimp with another design. So each move creates confusion that kills sales. The solution is building everything in one place where every part works together with the other part. Like when your landing page, your emails, your sales page, your checkout all look the same and work together, that's when people buy more. That's exactly what Go High Level gives you, a complete business system designed just for selling digital products. But even with the right platform, there's a deeper problem that kills most sales systems, and most creators never realize that they're making this mistake. So let me show you something that will change how you think about sales systems. Look at these numbers from my Go High Level dashboard. This system processed 847 leads last month and made $23,000 in sales. But this other system, it processed 1,247 leads and only made $8,900. So the same platform, similar products, same traffic source. So why did the first system convert 150% better? The difference comes down to understanding buyer psychology versus traffic psychology. Most people build systems to get clicks and traffic. They create headlines to get attention, landing pages to capture emails, and sales pages to look professional. But that's backwards. The unsuccessful systems are built for vanity metrics, page views, email signups, social shares. The successful ones are built for buyer behavior, purchase intent, handling objections, and building trust. I spent 2 years building systems that looked amazing. I got tons of email signups, but made terrible sales. Beautiful designs, clever copywriting, impressive traffic numbers, but disappointing bank deposits. I was attracting browsers, not buyers. And the turning point came when I started studying the behavior patterns of people who actually bought my products versus those who just consumed my free content. Buyers had completely different patterns, different questions, different decision-making triggers. And the breakthrough came when I stopped trying to attract everyone and started trying to attract only people ready to buy. When you understand buyer psychology, what motivates purchase decisions, what creates urgency, what builds trust, you can build systems that turn visitors into buyers at rates that seem impossible. Now, attracting buyers is just the beginning, right? The real magic happens when you can follow up and convert these people automatically. And here's what typically happens with traditional setups. Someone signs up for your free guide, maybe visits your sales page, and then disappears. You have no systematic way to follow up, no way to address their specific objections, no way to build the relationship that leads to sales. You see, most creators are running their systems like it's 1995. They capture an email and hope for the best. Maybe they send a few follow-up emails, but there's no strategic sequence, no triggers based on behavior, and no personalization based on what people actually do. So I learned this lesson the expensive way when I launched my first digital product. I created what I thought was amazing content, built a decent landing page, and drove traffic from my YouTube channel. I drove 2,300 people to my landing page, got 340 email signups, and made exactly 4 sales over 2 weeks. That's a 1.2% conversion rate that barely covered my video editing costs. The problem wasn't my product or my traffic quality. The problem was I had no system to follow up with the 300 people who were interested enough to give me their email address but didn't buy immediately. They were warm leads that went cold because I had no way to build trust and urgency needed to close the sale. So think about this. Someone visits your landing page, reads your offer, and decides they need more information before buying. In traditional setups, they're gone forever unless they remember to come back on their own. You've lost them in the attention economy. Go High Level's automation creates different communication paths based on what people do. So if someone clicks your sales page but doesn't buy, they get a sequence focused on addressing objections and maybe sending testimonials. If they open the emails but don't click, they get content designed to build trust. Every action triggers the next appropriate step in your sales process automatically. The first component is your landing page, right? And it needs to be something that most landing pages completely fail at, attracting the right people while capturing leads. You see, most landing pages are designed to capture as many email addresses as possible using generic headlines like "Get my free guide" or "Download now." They use broad appeal to get maximum signups and wonder why their sales are terrible. So here's the problem. When you try to get maximum signups, you attract a lot of people who will never buy anything. Your email list grows, but your revenue doesn't. You end up with thousands of subscribers who cost you money in email fees but make 0 sales. I made this exact mistake with my first major product launch. I created a landing page with the headline, "Get my free clipping guide," and a simple sign-up form. Converted at 47%, which was amazing. I was thrilled with those numbers. I thought I had figured it out, but when I actually launched my $299 course to that list, only 0.8% of those leads bought it. I'd optimized for the wrong thing entirely. I was attracting people who wanted free information, not people who were ready to spend money on solutions. The other extreme is equally bad. Some creators make their landing pages so sales-focused that they scare away real prospects. They immediately pitch their offer without building any value or trust first, treating their landing page like a sales page. The solution is a qualifying landing page that attracts the right people while filtering out time wasters. So in Go High Level, I built a page that captures contact information while immediately positioning my main offer as the next logical step. The headline addresses a specific problem that only my ideal customers have, like the exact $2.3 million business blueprint that took me 3 years to perfect. This filters out people looking for get-rich-quick schemes while attracting serious creators. Right below the sign-up form, I add what I call the soft introduction to my main offer. So plus, at the end of this free training, I'll show you how to get the entire system set up in just 30 days. But here's where most creators make their biggest mistake. They treat the thank you page like an afterthought when it's actually the highest converting space. Like most thank you pages, just say check your email and maybe deliver the promised free guide. This is like having someone walk into your store, show you genuine interest in your products, and then immediately showing them the exit door without presenting your best offers. Think about the psychology here. Someone just gave you their contact information. They're hot, they're engaged, they're in a buying mindset, they're expecting value. This is the perfect moment to present your main offer, but most people completely waste this opportunity. And I used to do this wrong too. My thank you pages are basically digital receipts that confirmed the sign up and promised future value. I was leaving massive amounts of money on the table because I was afraid of seeming too pushy. But here's what I discovered when I started tracking visitor behavior. People who visit my thank you page are 8 times more likely to buy my main offer than people who only see it in the emails later. And the thank you page is your highest converting space because the visitor has already taken one action, which is signing up, and in that momentum of taking more actions, they're expecting the next steps, not dead ends. So in Go High Level, I built a thank you page that delivers the promised value while strategically introducing my main offer using what I call the bridge method, positioning my program as the next logical step. So the free training you just signed up for will show you what to do, but if you want to skip the trial and error phase and get to complete how with my personal guidance, I have something special for you today. And then I add a countdown timer showing that this price expires in 48 hours, plus maybe a later option that adds people to different automation sequences for those who need more time. Okay, now we get to the component that transforms your system from a simple lead capture into a sophisticated sales machine. Most email marketing is basically spam, right? People sign up to your list and get the same sequence of emails regardless of their behavior, interests, or buying readiness. They get emails about advanced strategies when they haven't even mastered the basics yet. They get promotional emails when they're still researching. This one-size-fits-all approach is why most email sequences have terrible engagement rates. People unsubscribe because their content isn't relevant to where they are in the buying journey. I used to send the same 7 email sequence to everyone who signed up. Email 1 delivered the free guide, emails 2 to 6 provided values and tips, email 7 pitched my course. Simple, logical, and completely ineffective because it ignored individual behavior. The problem was that different people were ready for different messages at different times. So someone who immediately visited my sales page after signing up needed different follow-up sequence than someone who downloaded my guide but never opened any emails. And then someone who opened every email but never clicked needed different content than someone who clicked everything but didn't buy. Without behavioral triggers, you're essentially shooting arrows in the dark, hoping they hit something valuable. Most of your arrows miss because they're not aimed at the right targets at the right times. And Go High Level creates different paths based on what prospects do. So here's my exact structure. Day number 1 delivers promised content plus a soft mention of my course. Day number 2 provides massive value while positioning my course as the solution. Day 3 uses text messages for personal connection. The real power is smart logic. If someone responds to my text, they get added to my high engagement sequence. If they visit my sales page multiple times, they get urgency-based messages. If they don't engage, they get re-engagement content. But even with perfect traffic and flawless follow-up, everything depends on your sales page ability to convert warm prospects into paying customers. And most sales pages are built backwards. They start with features, they add some benefits, throw in some testimonials, and hope for the best. They look professional, but convert poorly because they don't understand buyer psychology. So here's what I see constantly with YouTubers and creators. They create sales pages that impress other creators, but confuse actual customers. They use industry jargon, focus on what they think is important, and ignore what actually motivates purchase decisions. I made this mistake with my first digital product. I created what I thought was an amazing sales page. I spent weeks on the design, hired a professional copywriter, included dozens of testimonials. It looked like something you see from a major company with a perfect formatting and beautiful graphics, but it converted at 2.1%, which meant I was losing money on every single visitor I sent to it. The problem wasn't the offer, the traffic quality, it was that the sales page was designed to impress rather than convert. I was focusing on what I thought made me look credible instead of what actually motivated people to buy. I was answering questions nobody was asking while ignoring real objections and desires my prospects had. The breakthrough came when I stopped trying to create a professional sales page and started creating a conversion-focused one. Every element serves one purpose, moving prospects closer to a purchase decision. And in Go High Level, I use the transformation formula. So instead of starting with features, I start with the prospect's current frustration and paint a picture of their desired outcome. The story section mirrors my prospect's journey from struggle to success, and social proof addresses exact objections my automation has uncovered. Now we reach the moment of truth, the checkout process, where interested prospects become paying customers. Most creators send people from their beautiful branded sales page to a generic payment processor that looks completely different. PayPal checkouts, Stripe forms, or third-party processors that break the visual flow and trust-building sequence. This jarring transition creates what psychologists call mental friction. That moment of doubt, where prospects question whether they're making the right decision, they've been in your branded environment, building trust with your content, then suddenly they're on a generic payment form that could belong to anyone. I've lost thousands of dollars to this mistake before I understood its impact. I would spend hundreds of dollars and hours making my sales page perfect for conversions, getting people excited about my offer. Then send them to a Stripe checkout that converted 30% worse than it should have because it broke the trust-building sequence. But the problem goes deeper than visual consistency. When you use external payment processors, you lose control over what happens after the purchase. You can't customize confirmation pages, you can't trigger immediate upsells, you can't smoothly move customers into your delivery and onboarding systems. You're essentially handing your customers off to another company at the most critical moment of your relationship, the moment that they're giving you money. GoHighLevel's integrated payment systems keep everything in your branded environment. The checkout page matches your sales page design perfectly, maintaining trust and momentum through the purchase. And I can add order bumps directly on the checkout page, like add the fast track implementation guide for just $97 more, which increases my revenue by customer by 23%. The moment someone purchases, they're automatically tagged and moved to customer onboarding. But here's the component that separates creators making thousands from those making millions. Most creators launch their systems and hope for the best. They might create their conversion rates occasionally, but they have no systematic way to improve performance. They're flying blind, making decisions based on gut feelings rather than actual data. This means they never realize their system's true potential. They might have a sales page that converts at 3% when simple tweaks could get it to 8%. They might have email sequences with 15% open rates, but with better subject lines could achieve 35%. They might be spending money on video editors that bring unqualified leads while ignoring other editors that bring in ready-to-buy customers. Without proper tracking and optimization, you're leaving massive amounts of money on the table. I've personally seen creators double their revenue just by fixing bottlenecks they didn't even know existed in their systems. The other extreme is equally bad. Creators who get caught up in optimization that they never actually launch anything. They spend months testing different headline variations instead of actually driving real traffic from their YouTube to their systems and getting real market feedback. Perfect optimization without traffic is worthless, but traffic without optimization is just expensive entertainment. And GoHighLevel's analytics system gives you the perfect balance of insight and action. You can see exactly where people drop off, which emails get best engagement, and which YouTube videos bring the highest value customers. I can A/B split test different sales page headlines with a few clicks. The reporting shows my system here generated $347,000 in 90 days from 2,800 signups, meaning each subscriber is worth $122 to my business. Now I want to show you what happens when all these components work together. Most creators think scaling means driving traffic to the same system. They post more YouTube videos hoping for better results and wonder why the profit margins keep shrinking instead of growing. But here's what I discovered after building dozens of systems: that scaling isn't about more traffic. It's about better conversion at every step of your system. At a 2% improvement on your landing page conversion rate has a bigger impact on your bottom line than doubling your traffic. When you just add more traffic to a poorly converting system, you're essentially amplifying your problems. You're paying more money to disappoint more people and generate the same mediocre results. This GoHighLevel system creates the compound conversion effect. Each optimized element amplifies the other. Your better landing page sends higher quality leads to your automation. Your behavioral automation delivers more qualified prospects to your sales page. Instead of hoping every component works independently, you're building an integrated system where every element multiplies the effectiveness of each other. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you're serious about building a real digital products business that generates consistent revenue rather than sporadic sales, you need to experience this system firsthand. I've created an exact copy of my entire GoHighLevel system, the same one that's generated over $1 million in sales. Every page template, every automation sequence, every integration that turns cold prospects into paying customers and customers into repeat buyers. This isn't some simplified version or basic template. This is my actual live system that's currently generating sales as I'm recording this video. The same landing pages that convert at 40%, the same email sequences that maintain 50% open rates, the same sales pages that close 5% of visitors. So go ahead, click the link in the description below to get your 30-day free trial of GoHighLevel, and I'll personally copy and paste my entire system into your account. You'll see exactly how every component works together, and you can start using it immediately for your own digital products. But here's what's critical, and this would separates people from really succeeding from those who struggle. You need to use this system exactly as I designed it. Don't try to improve it or combine with other strategies you've heard about. This framework works because every piece works together. I've given the same system to over 100 creators, and the pattern's always the same. The ones who follow it exactly as designed generate results within 30 days. The ones who try to modify it or cherry pick pieces individually struggle because they break the synergy between the components. And the system works because it's based on buyer psychology and conversion data, not YouTuber opinions. Every element has been tested with real traffic, real prospects, and real money. Just use it, drive traffic to it, and let the results speak for themselves. And if you want to be featured on my next video, fill out the form linked in the description below, and I'll review your channel on my next one. Now go ahead and watch this video right here on how to become a millionaire in 2025. I'll see you there.